Hey, good morning, everybody. I've got everything ready for this week. I think. I don't know. I don't guess I've got anything ready, but the Lord's really been talking to me about trying to correlate things from the Old Testament to the New Testament. and which is pretty simple if you can read enough and at one setting. You can kind of see what they're talking about, and it correlates very well together, actually. But all that aside, I'm in 1 Peter. I went back to the New Testament, and I was in 1 Peter, and I just got out of Judges, and I was reading about Samson and how he was pretty aggravated, and whenever they solved the riddle, his wife, in case anybody doesn't know, he was fixing to get married, and he gave 30 of his groomsmen, for lack of a better term, a riddle to solve, and if they could solve it, then he'd give them 30 robes and 30 all kinds of presents. Well, they finally hemmed up his wife and soon-to-be wife, and they solved the riddle because she told him the answer. Well, out of his lack of self-control, he went down to the village and killed 30 men and gave their belongings to these guys, and then ran off into the woods. So that being said, it really hits on what the verse I'd seen here in 1 Peter. It's 1 Peter 1, chapter 13, and it says, "So think clearly and use self-control." And then it goes on and says, "Look forward to the gracious salvation that will come to you when Jesus Christ is revealed to the world." But even if you just stop at that first sentence, which is, "So think clearly and exercise self-control." I know how it is out here in the oil field. I know if you're a lineman, if you're work on a railroad, it's going to be the same way. Especially if you're in with a bunch of rough men. That's our line of work. It's easy to not think so clearly, and it's easy to lack self-control because it's fight or not. And if we can be a little more patient with each other, we can stop and pause and think clearly about every situation, not just arguments, but every situation. Think clearly, use self-control. It doesn't necessarily mean fighting physically or mentally. It could be self-control with spending habits or drug addiction or anything. So anyhow, I would just like to point that out, that 1 Peter, again, that's 1 Peter 1:13, and let's all think clearly and use self-control. We got a new year coming up. I know I could use some self-control cutting back on them cheeseburgers, so hopefully everybody has a great Christmas and New Year's, and y'all be safe out there. Keep praying, and I'll be praying for y'all. Talk to y'all later.